Good morning, wonderful people of Biafra. Good morning, lovers of freedom. Good morning, Biafra supporters all over the world. Today is another great day. You know, one thing about us is, once the spirit of Biafra possesses you, there is nothing you can do. Once the spirit of truth possesses you, there is nothing you can do. You can no longer control yourself. It is not you that is controlling yourself. It is that very spirit of Biafra that will be controlling you. And then you find it difficult to see the darkness, and you will not fight against it. You will find so difficult to see darkness as a child of light, and you will not fight against it. Today is the 17th day of December 2024. My general ordered me to bring his greeting to every good wishes of Biafra. General Butuzo greet all of you in the name of Chukwokika Abiyama. This morning again, we have come to clear the air once and for all. Yesterday, network did not allow me to go to dwell long. So therefore, we are here. I am here as being instructed by General Butuzo to do the full needful. As long as this journey concern, as long as Biafra struggle concern, you cannot deceive everybody at the same time. You can't deceive everybody at the same time. No matter what you try to do, there will be somebody somewhere who know what to do. And as long as that person rise up and begin to speak the truth, your downfall begin from there. Except that person remain silent and allow the darkness to overwhelm the light before you can succeed. But once that person rise up, that will be the end of the darkness. An instruction, which you already know is not a new thing to you, and we know on our plan. We knew exactly what you people are planning, because the war is amazing. It's immune. Then they surprised to see the way we are defending the land of Biafra. The zoo, they surprised. These people never get everything they need. They have already defeated us like this. It become a surprise to them. And most of you have already surprised. You never believe what you have been seeing. You can never believe what you are seeing, because you were thinking, can Simon Èkpa do this? Simon Èkpa are proving to you beyond. That little money you give Simon Èkpa, he surprised those who were calling accountability. They are now up. Where is Livingstone? Where is Ife? When Simon Èkpa was doing something, they were saying, all our money contributing, come and do account. They wanted to bring distraction, the same way you people are bringing distraction now. But today, there are no more to be found. That your little money have been managing well. Now, this is where we are. The finance have been there. Oga never questioned the finance manager. The ministers of finance have never been questioned by Oga. I want to ask you a question. Is it these 3 weeks of Oga absent that the finance will squander the money? You see, some of you did not know. I say, if you want the enemy to defeat you, or you want the enemy to defeat the nation, do you know where they will touch? They will touch the defense, they will touch the finance, and they will touch the media. Break the defense, and believe you me, that nation must collapse. How can they break the defense, seize the finance, and then use the media to brainwash others one?
Breaking news. Simon Èkpa have reacted to this particular problem that is happening between these cabinet members. Simon Èkpa have finally reacted. Please, if you are just joining us now, do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Turn on the notification button. You can check back our previous videos. Then you understand the capacity and authenticity of what we're talking about here. Now, one thing these people don't know, one thing these Biafrans in diaspora or Biafrans in exile don't know, that they have already promised us, the Biafrans in homeland, they have already promised the Biafrans in the homeland that they will bring this Biafra from the exile for us. And we have supported them in every means we can to make sure that they keep spreading the words of Biafra. For instance, just few weeks back, the declaration that happened in Finland, at least that was enough exposure for the world to realize what is actually happening in the Southeast and the Biafra land and beyond. Now, what we don't want to hear and what we don't want to hear that they tamper with is the resources and the tools made for our angels in the homeland. Because they are the ones guiding our land. They are the ones protecting our land from these Fulani Janjaweeds. They are the ones protecting our land from these Fulani terrorists. So their funding must not be tampered with. Their funding must not be tampered with. Their funding must not be tampered with. The angels on ground that are protecting the Biafra land and defending our farms, our properties from these Fulani Janjaweeds, for these troops of terrorist soldiers invading Biafra land, their funds must not be tampered. Believe me, their funds must not be tampered. Now, this is the reaction of Simon Èkpa. This is what Simon Èkpa reacted to that made them hold an emergency meeting yesterday. We'll keep you updated because this is the Inter TV news where you get your legit information. Now listen.
And it's not about whatever that is their problem in house because I was not there. I made it clear from beginning. That is the reason why I did not talk about their personal matters because I was not there. And when I called for meeting for both of them, they both did not respond to that. They did not come or even allow the meeting to hold. So that is the reason why it is impossible for me to come and tell you what is their problem. I have received a lot of messages on the on WhatsApp. People telling me how could I ignore what is going on, the main purpose, and I'm talking about the dissolution of the government and Biafra Charter. And I look at them, I wonder how they reason. When I have been telling you from the first broadcast and the second broadcast which I have made concerning this very latest development, that I do not know what is wrong with them. I don't know what is their problem. That is the reason why I listened to a Biafran elder that I always take his word very, very seriously and try to call them for a dialogue. They refuse to show up. My problem is the dissolution of the Biafra government set up by Mazi Simon Èkpa, that I know how I fought hand in hand with him to rescue this very struggle and the then Eastern Security Network. Every other thing that is their problem is for themselves. They should know how to sort themselves out, because I have called for unity. So if you don't know what is going on or where I stand, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to remove your biasness, remove whatever you are thinking about, remove your emotion, and go back and listen to that very broadcast from beginning till the end. Somebody was asking me, how can I call for a meeting? When Mazi Simon Èkpa was around, was I calling for a meeting? And I look at them, I wonder how they reason. When Mazi Simon Èkpa was around, I will answer that very question here on this live broadcast, even though what I'm doing is just a preamble. This is not the main thing that I want to talk about this very evening. Please, once you join me here, endeavor to share and like the broadcast. Very, very important. When the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Èkpa, was here, was around, was free, I have called meeting with the PM before the government. Let me make it clear. Before the government was formed, I have called meetings with the Prime Minister. I have equally interviewed him on my live broadcast, personally, not joint broadcast, on my personal broadcast. I have called meeting between me, him, and of course, Madam Azoka. When Nelly was with us, I have called meeting between me, him, and also Nelly. Then when the government was formed, I did not or have not called the Prime Minister for a meeting again, because before the inception of the government, it was strictly only for the media team. The Biafra, the Biafra liberation movement was, of course, carried out, or, everything about the Biafra movement was done or anchored by the media team. There was nothing like the government. And we were very, very few as at that time. Everybody listening today, both those in the government and those outside the government, were all following the directives from the media team. This media team that has become useless today. Before the inception of the government, everything about the government, everything about the agitation and liberation of Biafra was all about the media team. The media team was the only one, taking full control and responsibility of everything about the liberation of Biafra from that very moment Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. And we were very, very few. I can count us, not even more than 10, taking responsibility and carrying all the affairs of the Biafra movement. So it was easy for us to gather as easy as possible, call for a meeting. I was the one who promised the Prime Minister, maybe one of these days I will replay that very interview, the broadcast I made with the Prime Minister for the first time. I promised him to gather all the media, all as they called us that time, autopilot. I promised him live on air that I will gather every media person under the autopilot together that we may move the struggle forward. It was a promise that I made to him live on air. And he counted on me. And I did it. So, I used to call meeting then because we were very, very few. But since the inception of the government, many people came into the struggle. A lot of people, hundreds of people, if not thousands, came into the limelight. Ekolu, enwelifa na pon enwelife ndi bo na ekusi ekele olu eke. Ewe ekolu. After the government was formed, we now have many functions and functionalities in the government whereby everybody is minding his or her own business in the government and his or her own office in the government. So there is no any need for me to begin to call the Prime Minister or whoever in the government for a meeting, because and many people in the government, everybody amalugolia, everybody more office here. So me calling for a meeting would have been of no use. And that is the first part of that answer. Second part, what things that made that very question irrelevant and foolish is because when the Prime Minister was free with us, I don't have to call meeting, because in this kind of a thing that is happening has never happened before under the Prime Minister. So those or that whoever I was asking that question, you need to go and check your brain. What is happening now that made me call for the meeting has never ever happened before under the Prime Minister. So I had no reason of calling for a meeting. No reason whatsoever. Because what made me call for this meeting has never happened before, why Prime Minister is here with us. You understand? So now, having put that to bed, in case you don't understand it, you go and check how you reason. Another thing I have heard is that they say that I'm so arrogant. They say that I'm so arrogant. Yes, I am. I am very, very arrogant, extremely arrogant, and I do not have any apology to you or to anyone about it. If this my arrogancy is something that will bring or help to bring Biafra or put the enemies at bay, I will be very, very okay and comfortable with my arrogance. If my arrogance is what is needed to put the enemies at bay and check, then this my arrogance is exactly what is needed, especially at this very critical moment. So those of you that say, I am so arrogant, I have no problem of being arrogant. I have no problem of being arrogant, in as much as my arrogance also contributed immensely to the struggle that we are fighting today for freedom. Not now that you put it at my face to portray me as evil, that will make me to stop being arrogant. But when I was arrogant, challenging the DOS, fighting the DOS, exposing their criminality, you were enjoying that very arrogance. But now, because I also showed you what our law says, that this law should be followed, irrespective of their problem in-house. Let this law be followed, then you now realize that I am arrogant. Shame on you. Shame on you. Our Prime Minister said In case you don't remember, let me play it for you. Did you get it? The Prime Minister on stage on the 20th of October 2023 made it clear, by the power converge in me as the Prime Minister and your own vote. It's not only the power converge in him, he said, and your own vote, which is 100%, that this charter has become a law. And they shut him up. They shut him up. So when I came to read the charter for us and the way things should be done, I did not talk about what is the problem between both of them or the two groups. I read it clear. In as much as we want to leave the zoo, as long as we want to leave the zoo, let us follow what, because we have a charter. Some people, I also have I saw someone saying that there is charter and there is constitution. There is charter and there is constitution. That the charter is not constitution. So what does the constitution say? What does the constitution of Biafra say? And is this constitution in practice? Is it functioning at this moment? In which land, on what ground is this constitution functioning at this very moment? As far as concerned, the constitution that we are using, even here in Biafra land, which is, of course, at the moment, where they call southeast of Nigeria, under of Nigeria. If you want to tell yourself the truth, you tell yourself the truth. So, are you ready? Currently, not that thing. And I said, this is the charter of Biafra, and let it be what we should be following at the moment till further notice. Anything outside the charter, I am not there. And I am very, very sincere about it. It doesn't matter what people say about me. They say they have paid me money, no problem. They paid me money, that is what you said. If that's what you're saying, you claim that they have paid me money, and you have also alleged that they have paid others money. So if you say they have paid me money, and I know very well that nobody paid me money to say what I'm saying, that means all you have been saying about others are lies. All you have been lies. Say they paid me money. But only with your mouth, you say they paid me money that have collected billions or millions. So to me, even though I have any art from what you were saying about other people, that they have paid them money, and then you come around to say that they have also paid me money, then you have been lying all these years. That means you have been lying all these years to Biafrans. Yes.